We're going to have fun. I promise you. And let me go to the music. As soon as I see us come up, it says we're streaming.
Yes, I see that.
Okay. And waiting for LinkedIn to come up. And oh, come on. Here we go. Let me refresh. It likes to be refreshed. Okay. Let me start the music. Here we go. Mary, wave hello. And let's start this. Can you hear it?
I can.
Okay.
So you wanna be
Two people are watching.
a
Must be you and me.
It could be.
hanging with the ink set, looking real cool.
Just going to have fun.
Always.
Here we go.
So you wanna be
There we go. Hello, I'm Bonnie D. I'm with Mary N. And this is We Dish More. Two TOO. We're two saucy dames. I started the show with my friend and colleague Sherry Ann Meyer a couple of months ago, and I decided to expand. And I have so many interesting, well, a couple of more interesting ladies, women, people I work with, my colleagues, my trusted collaborator, shall we say. And Mary and I have been working together for a couple of years now. She's a regular guest on my Technology Revolution show. So here we are. And I'm going to read a poem before Mary says a word. You know, I start with my Chat GPT poem and then Mary will introduce herself. So you know us on our own, Bonnie D and Mary N. Dynamic personas again and again. No pressure, Mary. In LinkedIn's halls with socials embrace, we love to talk tech virtually, face to face. Together today on We Dish, we're here to play, lighting up the stream waves in a fresh, fun way. Chatting on culture, tech, wacky news we adore, music, food, and laughter, and oh, so much more. No politics here, just joy and delight. Join us live or on demand. You can see us day or night. Meet us for real with your questions in tow. Comments are welcome. Just be nice. You know, you know. So tune in, engage. Let's laugh and connect on more Two Saucy Dames, our own dialect. Bonnie D and Mary Ann, two saucy dames today. Together we'll dish. We have so much to say. Mary, what'd you think?
I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. It's so much fun.
Thank you. Okay, lady, you're up. Tell us in 50 words or less who is Mary, and it's non-league in case anybody's interested. Go ahead, Mary. Welcome.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited that you've got brought this idea to life. Anyway, 50 words or less. Professional course creator, also known as an instructional designer or learning experience designer, gamer, reader, business owner, and nerd. And I'm a former restaurant, hotel, food and beverage operations management person. And now I'm just a foodie.
And a very talented designer. And your company is the Lavender Dragon. Is there a the or is it just Lavender Dragon?
It's the Lavender Dragon team. Yes.
I wore a lavender flower just for you in your honor, Mary Ann.
Oh, I
So,
appreciate it.
so tell us why lavender, why dragon? Give us a little background, please.
Certainly. So, quick background. Purple is my favorite color. And when we were forming the company, I thought, "Ooh, purple dragon." At the time, my daughter was married to a police officer, and he's like, "You might want to do a little research on that." Turns out that purple dragon is really not something you want to call your company unless you happen to be in the marijuana business. So, lavender is an offshoot of purple. Dragon is my spirit animal. It's been with me. The dragons have been with me my whole life. Even as a child in elementary school, I would sign my notes to my friends, loving dragons. So dragon had to be in there. And team, because my son and I co-founded the business together. So Lavender Dragon Team.
How lovely. And while I'm red, you know, my other name is Radio Red, and this is my scarlet mic and all of that. I think this is one of my other favorite colors as well. I'm just going to give a quick bio in case anybody forgot who I am. How could they? Mary's thinking. I'm a live radio and what they call podcast creator, producer, host, moderator, storyteller. I'm a playwright. I've written a couple of romantic comedies that I produced with the community actors for my TV show in New York a few years ago. I'm an artist. I'm up to about 350 paintings. I do watercolors and I'm into paint pouring acrylics and collages. I use something called washi tape, which is it's
Mm.
little sparkly tape that comes on rolls and you cut little pieces and I put them for along with glitter on my paintings to bring them out. And next time we do this, we'll show some of our art. I'm a poet. I belong to the Writer's Digest poetry group and I get prompts every Wednesday along with about 50 other people from the moderator, Robert Lee Brewer. And usually I write one limerick, a triplet of haikus, 575. Those of you who know haikus know that's the number of syllables, and an acrostic for the theme. And yesterday's theme was road, write a poem about the road. So I wrote one about on the road again was an acrostic. I wrote one on the road to the shore, and I wrote the limerick about a tire blowout I had on the road after a radio show. So that's what I do. And also, what else do I do? I created the 3-minute soundbite roundtable. We're not doing 3 minutes today. I'm an early woman in tech, COBOL on a Xerox Sigma 6 CP5 mainframe with key punching. Yes, I'm a former stand-up comic, and Mary, I just try to be funny sitting down now. What do you think?
I think that's fantastic. And I would love an episode where we share our art because I work with fibers. So I do a lot of crocheting. I
didn't know
do, yeah.
Oh, next time. Next time. We'll do
Yeah,
another one next
definitely.
week. Good. So, first question was if we get to our agenda, a couple of songs that tell us a little bit about who you are. How would you describe yourself, the name of the song and the artist? Mary, got a couple? Oh, she's
So,
laughing.
so while I normally tell people to stay in the current time, stay in the present, live it, or stay in the now, every single one of my songs is at least 2 decades old. But that's okay because the things that we grew up listening to are the things that stick with us. So, my first song that really describes me is Every Day is Halloween by Ministry. Um, Bonnie's like, what?
Well,
So
that's good because we're not duplicating songs. Wait till you hear mine. Go ahead.
yeah, so Every Day is Halloween by Ministry. If you grew up in Chicago, they're still playing now. And I did grow up in Chicago, but it's a definitely interesting band. One of the key lyrics is because to me, every day is Halloween. I have given up hiding and started to fight. But it's got this really cool opening riff. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. I live with snakes and lizards and other things that go bump in the night. So that is a song that has spoken to me for many, many years.
I'm looking at the background winking at you when you're saying this, Mary. Go ahead. What's your second song? That's interesting.
So my second song has more to do with In the Now, even though it's again many years old. And it's by a little known band, unless you're from Chicago or Wisconsin, called Johnny and the Leisure Suits. And it's called I Need a Vacation.
Killing me. I love this. I love this. Go ahead.
So
Do we have lyrics for that one too?
well, it's I need vacation. I want relaxation, total vegetation. I got to go on vacation. Boom, 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 boom. There's some other songs that he did that I just didn't think would be appropriate for this show, like the Moo Moo song. But look it up; they're on YouTube.
You didn't tell me you were a talented vocalist, Mary.
I
Your voice is beautiful.
oh, thank you. I didn't think I was, but thank you.
I want you to keep singing. This was great. We're going to rename the show Getting to Know You. Getting
I
to
love it.
Wow. Do you have a third song?
I do have a third song.
Go ahead.
And part of it is just because I've been banned from ever mentioning the Doctor on the technology show. So this song is The Doctor and I by John Barrowman, who played Captain Jack Harkness, both in Doctor Who and the Torchwood spinoff. But it's when you're with the Doctor, your whole life will change. Because once you're with the Doctor, you are not estranged. And it just really goes through the whole like being a companion of the Doctor. You just go on these wild adventures. You have so much fun.
Mary, before I give you my songs, which are much not necessarily newer, they're some from the disco era. Question: we're doing something very radical here today. We're having fun, and we're on LinkedIn. I know YouTube can stand it and Facebook, but is it okay for us to actually?
I
laugh
think it's
and
okay to
fun on
have
LinkedIn?
fun on LinkedIn, yes. Because
I-
my other song is Wherever I May Roam by Metallica.
Okay. Well,
And
thank you.
then
Yeah.
the last two, because I just couldn't stop. The Logical Song Remix by DJ Scooter, which is really wild. How Much Is That Fish is also pretty good. And then to wrap things up, The Never Ending Story by Lee Mal.
We just wrote a playlist for Mary. Oh my God. Well, mine are much more boring, I think. 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton. And the joke with that 9 to 5, got a way to make a living.
Nobody works
Well,
9 to 5.
But you know something? when years ago I was dating someone who was very annoyed that I was still working and answering phone calls from clients after 5 p.m. And he said, "Who are these people? Why are men calling you after 5?" This is before email.
Right.
And it's like, I'm in business, I'm a consultant, I'm doing newsletters and PR for people. And he'd say, I don't, he was very miffed that I wasn't a 9 to 5 gal. She'll use
Wow.
the word gal. So that's important. Dancing Queen, I used to teach ballroom, Latin, and disco
Oh.
with a partner when I lived in Eugene, Oregon. And I entered a disco Hawaii contest, and we had matching shirts made out of blue hammered silk. I sewed mine, and his mother sewed his. And we came in third in Disco Hawaii, and we did a dance, a hustle dance. We came in from opposite sides of the floor, Mary, to Donna Summer's MacArthur Park Suite.
Uh-huh.
Heaven knows just how much I love you. I came in on one side, I was about 98 pounds. I had a black satin skirt that tied at the waist. It was a 365 all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
And I came in and I met Michael in the middle. He lifted me up, the full Saturday Night Fever thing,
Wow.
spun me around, and then the death drop to the floor and spun me just above the floor. And then we did our routine. It was phenomenal. So Dancing Queen by ABBA, yes. This one sounds a little sad, but Bill Medley, song from Dirty Dancing. I've had the time of my
Oh,
life.
yes.
I'm still
Yes.
having the time of my life. So I think
I
I am
like
anyway.
that.
Aretha Franklin, respect. All I'm asking is for a little RESPECT.
CT.
Yep. So I think that's what we really want. And I found a song by Shakira. I don't know how to sing it or what the music is, but try everything. I want to try
Oh.
everything, even though I could fail. I like that one a lot. And one by Miley Cyrus, who has a great duet with Most Wanted with Beyonce on her new Cowboy Carter album. And the song is We Can't Stop. And the lyric is, It's my mouth. I can say what I want to.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So those are mine. Okay. So people know too much about us there. We have some live viewers. Hello,
Hey,
live
and
viewers.
I got some other songs. We just will save those for
Save
later.
those for next time. Okay, next topic is how do you, we're going to do our art today. We're going to share our art next time. But topic is Mary, how often do you use ChatGPT, Bard, Claude, Gemini, and what do you use them for? Just briefly, what are your favorite uses of LLMs, large language models, chatbots? What do you do?
Sure. So, I use ChatGPT daily. I use Gemini almost daily. I'm not a big fan of Meta AI embedded into Facebook, but
Mhm.
occasionally I end up using it even though I don't plan to use it. And with the mainstream large language models, I use them for brainstorming partners. Yesterday I was using it to help plan a 30-day meal plan for somebody transitioning from being 100% meat eater to somebody transitioning to more of a plant-based diet. So that was really interesting. And, feeding it information like what are the person's likes, what are their dislikes, that
Mhm.
sort of thing. And then just having conversation. And then just for fun, I like to use things like ChatGPT to say, okay, thinking of like you're a cat. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, and then I want you to tell me what you're thinking. So that was a lot of fun. So it's like acting as a 15-year-old orange tabby cat. Tell me what you're thinking when I tell you what I'm doing. So we had a really fun conversation yesterday.
That is fun. You know, on my Technology Revolution show, where you're a regular panelist, futurist, I call my panelists. You're all
Yes.
futurists because we're predicting AI and something. I ask my guests to ask ChatGPT, Gemini, any other chatbot, to hallucinate what would a past person from the sciences, from the arts, the one coming up, we're going to ask a fictional person who is named in a rock and roll song like Mustang Sally. What would
Nice.
Mustang Sally say about AI if she was here and if she knew about it, if she was a person? So I've asked it to ask my panelists to please ask ChatGPT or any other LLM to put words into the mouth of the character or the person
Mhm.
who's passed in a particular genre, and we're having a lot of fun with that. So yes, and I do have to give a quick plug. The art you see behind you, I created that woman in Night Cafe Studio. I don't use Midjourney like most people do, and then I went into Photoshop and replicated it one, two, three, four, 8 times, and then I did a highlight on just the eyes, the one eye you can see under our names there, the big eye, and the eyelash to the right, and then I added the title in Photoshop. So I'm I'm using AI for art as well, and we'll talk about that on another show. So there, and I use ChatGPT, of course, for the poems. And I have a quiz I give my guests, Mary, and if they've seen the show before, any of my shows, I tell them they're disqualified from the quiz. And the quiz is after I feed it, let's say I have 4 panelists on technology revolution, the future of now, and 3 on read my lips, cool conversations with creatives. So I say after I feed it, let's say the 4 bios up to 1,000 characters each for 4 guests, plus a little bit of my opening, my closing, and the title of the episode. How long from the time I hit submit or return on the keyboard till ChatGPT gives me back the core, the basis of that poem, and then I edit it. And people used to say minutes. I said, oh, put up your hands, how many minutes? And now nobody puts up minutes. Okay, how many seconds? We still get 30, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 15 seconds. And a couple of wisecrackers say 2 seconds. And I say, you cheated. You watched my show. The response time now, Mary, is a second plus.
Yeah, it's getting amazingly
Beyond.
fast, and the
Beyond.
hallucinations are starting to be a little less. And I think a lot of it just comes down to just like having a conversation with you, what you ask the LLM
Mhm.
and what parameters you give it, because you can get some really cool stuff. That doesn't mean you still have to go in and edit it. You still have to go in and change it. And I even tell mine, like, you are forbidden to use certain words. Like, if you use the word delve, or if you use the word dive, or if you use, unless we're talking about swimming in the Olympics and you're going to literally dive into a pool of water, I do not want you to use those words.
Oh, that's good. And realm, it uses realm a lot. What I do is when I'm looking, I highlight the rhyme so I can hit those, punch those points when I'm reading it on the air. But I use Microsoft Word, obviously, for all my notes for my radio shows. So I'll go into Word, I'll copy the poem in, and then I will go into a website called rhyme.com, I think it's called. I'll put in the word that I don't like, the rhyme word that ChatGPT gave me, and I'll say, give me the rhymes, and I might get 1,000 words. And the one that I had trouble with today, Mary, was Mary
Uh-oh.
N, and I didn't want then or back when. So I chose again and again. And the line was, you know us on our own, Bonnie D and Mary N, dynamic personas again and again.
Okay. I like that.
See? So I had to work on that one. I really,
Yeah, but
really
that's
did.
that's the cool thing, is just iterating and playing with it. And while LLMs, this is Mary on her soapbox, can certainly help improve the workflow, I have found that I spend almost as much time, if not more, asking it to rewrite things or change things or
Mhm.
and edit things. And part of it's because then it's getting to know me better. But there are times where it's like, okay, now you gave me the base. Now I'm going to go sit in the corner and do my own writing with it. But I just couldn't come up with an idea. It's like that blank
Yes.
page syndrome, or
Yes.
in the case of art, the blank art syndrome. And now it's like, oh, okay, I got a base. Now I'm going to go, like you said, take it into Photoshop or GIMP or whatever you want to play in, and then turn it into something really cool.
David Byrne calls those the little beginnings that artists and songwriters do. You get an idea. Well, we used to just say, oh, I stood behind a person in line at the supermarket, or I looked outside and the sky was blue and I got an idea, or that tree is blooming, or I ate hot dogs for lunch and that gave me an idea, or you heard a song, you watched a movie, you see a painting. Well, today we have, excuse me, we have the opportunity to ask the LLM to give us those sparks, whether we
Yes.
like them or not. It's a spark. It's something I used to post on LinkedIn, my art sparks every week, and
Mm,
we'll show next week. So now we're
yes.
getting to the wacky headlines. This is not going to be a 15-minute show. I think we're going to go a good 20 minutes. I'm not cutting this down. We had 4 people, one went away, but we still have 3
That's okay.
live viewers. Don't usually get live viewers. We're happy to, whoever you are, welcome, welcome. Okay, I don't see any questions here. So, Mary, let's do 2 headlines from you and 2 from me and see how our timing works after that. Go ahead. Mary? Mary froze. Mary. Mary, you froze. Are you
Yeah,
back?
I was just saying, I just said I think I froze.
You froze.
Yep,
Okay, headline number 1. You do one, then I do one. Let's go
all
back
right,
and forth.
headline number 1. Hold on 1 second. An Arizona museum tells the stories of ancient animals through their fossilized poop.
Okay, Mary. Yeah. All right. You want to give us a little more on that with watching your words?
The Pooseum sign features a bright green T-Rex cartoon character sitting on a toilet to grab attention from the buzzing neon lights and muffled 1950s music emanating from other businesses. It's a museum that looks at how dinosaurs digested their food.
I bet that is important because it's talking about the ecosystem. It's talking about
Exactly.
the environment.
It
It's
is.
talking about nutrition. Talking about plant life. Talking about the photosynthesis,
This,
perhaps
yeah, and
digestion.
but then also like the body mechanics
Yep.
because that has a lot to do. But I mean, it's just a headline that just grabbed my
I was
attention.
trying
It's
not to
like,
talk about that part. I was trying to take a bigger
well,
environmental
well, they
view.
have a picture of a T-Rex on a potty. So,
That's very interesting. Can I do my first one now?
yes, you can do yours.
I'm going to talk about graphic design, and I've got two stories where people were not paid, and then one where someone was. So I'm going to give the first two, and then I'll let you do another one, and then I'll finish with my third one. So here we go. In 18, and a shout out to Bill Murphy Jr., who has a newsletter I get a couple times a week called Big Optimism. And this is from his June 18th, 2024. And he digs deep into history and stories, and he presents such interesting things. I'll send you the link if you want to subscribe,
Sure.
Mary. He just does a really good job. So, in 1885, Frank Robinson, bookkeeper to Dr. John Pemberton, suggested his boss's drink, fountain drink, which was called Pemberton's French Wine Coca, COCA, probably wasn't as catchy a name as Coca-Cola. Robinson
Aha.
also had the idea to write the name in a Spencerian script. He got no bonus for his work. He was just the bookkeeper. That's where Coca-Cola came from, 1885. And here's the second one who didn't get paid. In 1976, so this was almost 100 years later, designer Milton Glaser, Glaser, came up with the iconic I Love New York logo, working pro bono for the state of New York. The irony of it is that while he designed it for the state, it's become more closely associated with New York City. I love New York. I messed that
Yes.
one up. So you do your next headline, and then I have the zinger for the third one. Go
All
ahead.
right. So my next headline is not as cool as yours, but it again just appeals to me. Giant sinkhole swallows the center of a soccer field built on top of a limestone mine.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
More details. Go.
So this is from Alton, Illinois, and the field was built on top of a limestone mine, which, as you know, is not the most stable. Living in the, Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia tag area, which is known for its caves. We see limestone sinkholes and stuff pop up all the time. But yeah, the hole is about 100 feet long and up to 50 feet deep, and they don't quite know what to do with it. It just went whoop, and there went the soccer field.
I wonder which team was winning at the time. Did they pronounce a winner?
It did not pronounce a winner, but it is closed. The park and the roads around it are now closed indefinitely.
Is that called a rain out?
I don't know, but I just thought, wow.
Wow. Where did you find your wacky headlines, by the way? Can you give your
So a
source?
couple different sources. These sources, the first two were from the AP. They actually have a wacky headlines site so that you can go in and look for just all kind of interesting, unusual news.
Okay. Very interesting. Well, mine are all from Bill Murphy's newsletter. And here's number three. One graphic designer did get paid. Listen to this. The
Okay.
Nike swoosh, swoosh was
Ah,
first used to
yes.
represent its sneakers on June 18th, 1971, which was 53 years ago this week, which was June 18th. Today is what's today? Today is the 18th.
It
Oh,
is the 18th.
53
Yes.
years ago today. It's created by Portland State University graphic design student, keep in mind student, Carolyn, Carolyn Davidson, with minimal basic guidance from Nike co-founder Phil Knight,
Okay.
Knight. Listen to this. He said, make it look like something to do with movement. That's the quote, something to do with movement. She presented him with 5 designs. He didn't like any of them, but he liked the swoosh the least. He hated it the least. So
Okay.
he said, well, I don't love it, but it will grow on me. Nike was then called Blue Ribbon Sports. They had a factory in Guadalajara, Mexico. They were ready to start manufacturing their in-house first shoe because they were importing everything from Japan up to that time.
Okay.
So they sent the logo to the factory. Okay. Phil Knight offered Carolyn Davidson $2 an hour. She billed him for 17.5 hours and she received a check for $35.
Wow.
Nobody knew if the design would be successful or if Nike would be successful or anything about the future of the swoosh. In 1983, how many years later, Nike invited Carolyn Davidson to a reception in her honor where they gave her a diamond ring and the design incorporated the swoosh, and they gave her 500 shares of Nike stock.
Wow.
Is worth in today's money, if she held on to it these 40 years, $3 million. And she is now 81 years old and retired, and she devotes her time to charity work. And you can look her up, Carolyn with an Lyn on the end, Davidson, Davidson. That's my interesting headline. So there was a graphic designer. She got $35 and eventually a diamond ring and shares of Nike. What do you think, Mary?
Wow. I
Cool
love
beans?
it. I love it. Well, I have one more so we can
Go
keep
ahead.
ourselves balanced. And
Yes.
this
Oh, I don't
one,
want to be balanced.
oh, we have to be balanced,
I'm
you
a
know, 'cause
Libra, but not balanced. No,
I'm a
sorry.
Gemini, so you got to look at both sides of the story. But anyway,
Okay.
so this one is near and dear to my heart. And this is an event that actually celebrated its 45th anniversary on July the 12th. And it made headlines all across the country at the time that it originally happened. And it is one of the like top 10 wild events in baseball history.
Okay.
And because you mentioned Donna Summers and disco earlier, I had to counter it with this.
Oh,
It was Disco Demolition Night blows up in Chicago.
I read about that. Go ahead. I read
I
that.
was there.
Yeah.
It was the best.
No.
98 cents and a disco record. I
Throw
don't
it
like.
into the pile.
Well, no, we had seats, but other people were climbing up and over, but then we all ran onto the field after. So yes, then they canceled one of the few forfeitures ever. But Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer came out. You know, there's the insane Coho Lips. He came out and he blew up the disco records, and disco records were flying everywhere.
Oh my. Oh my. Oh my.
And we
Well,
were Northsiders, so to go to Comiskey Park, which was on the south side, was quite the experience because you had to take quite a bit of public transportation to get from one end of the city to the other, and it was a night to remember.
wow. Well, I'm glad I wasn't there because I was in the discos dancing in Eugene, Oregon, and when I came back to New York in '84, I was at Club G at the Garden City Hotel and with a sunken dance floor, and we were doing our hustle thing. And I was early on. I was at a place in Massapequa, Long Island called Swingles, which was a bar and a dance
Okay,
place, and they had an elevated dance floor, and the women were wearing beautiful dresses and the men were dressed in sport shirts and they were up doing line dances, which I later taught. This was when I took line dancing and disco back to Eugene that summer. I was a new
okay.
new divorcee visiting my parents with my two young kids, and when I went back, I said, "Hey, I got to get into this disco thing. This is really cool." So at Swingles, they were dancing line dances, all coordinated, and they were beautiful. And you'll never find another love like mine. George, was that George Benson? Somebody. Anyway, whoever it was, I'm sorry if I missed your name on that one, but I fell in love with disco. So there you go. So don't burn my disco records.
Yeah, well, and this was sort of in a response to the rock radio station being flipped to a disco station. And
Ah,
so, people were not happy about that. Because I've always been a rocker. So, heavy metal, headbanger, alternative, still am. So,
well, one of the songs I didn't mention for me was "I Love Rock and Roll." Throw another. Yep. Okay. Blah
uh-huh,
blah blah.
uh-huh.
There we go. So listen, we're going to wrap this up. We've been doing this for probably a half hour. I am
Wow.
so very happy that you're giving me your time, Mary N. I have been delighted to work with you on my radio shows, to invite you as a futurist because your art and your insights are always so cool. You don't run with the herd. You do your own thing, and that's why I think we get along so well. So whoever we still got three people. They probably
That's
turned it on
awesome.
and they probably turned it on and forgot to turn it off and went and did something.
Hey, that's okay.
We know who you are. We know who you are. So we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, my two pages on Facebook and on YouTube, and I will send you the live stream links. You want to do this again, Mary? What do you think?
I would love to do this again.
Me too. Me too. Let's schedule a
This was
time
fun.
next week, okay?
That
Just
sounds
to
like a
chat.
plan.
So I'm going to see
Yes.
if I can play the music. Let's go out with, and this is Serge Hoffman singing the lyrics to "So You Want to Be." I wrote the lyrics. Serge wrote the music, and he's the singer. And let's see if we can get this to play. I think we're still sharing. Can you hear it, Mary?
I can.
Oh, I see that shoulder moving.
So you wanna be
And then we're going to wave goodbye.
a cool
See if I can lower the volume on this in a minute.
hanging with an ink set,
If you want to be a cool kid.
looking real cool and fine. Asking
We'll go out on the big drum beat at the end here.
So you wanna be
Bum, 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 bum. My drums are in the other room.
lonely girl.
There we go. I learned how to fade. Okay, Mary Ann, wave goodbye to LinkedIn, wave goodbye to Facebook, wave goodbye to YouTube.
Bye.
Signing off. Bye bye. We'll